Okay. Christine Martin says, what is the best time PG level to ship semen for an overnight? Well, it depends on what you're doing. If you're doing a regular vaginal AI, then you want to ship the day after ovulation. On an IDEX, that'd be an 8. Fine care, something like a 12. On a mini Vitus, I don't know, it's much higher. Mini Vitus is really much higher. Something like probably pushing a 20 on a mini Vitus. But basically 2 days, 1 day after ovulation, because you're going to AI 2 days late. And then they can always do a surgical or TCI if you find that they're a little bit late. If you're a day late, then just do a TCI or a surgical. Someone's asking for antibiotics. Where can I get these in the US, please? Amazon, Chewy, those kind of places. All those products I showed you there are antibiotics that are designed for fishes, and that way you can get away with not having to have a prescription. But they're basically the same product. So a Mox, Fish Mox is amoxicillin, Fish Flex is cenflaxin, Fish Zol is metronidazole. So those are all basically the same things. They're off-label use because you're not using them for fish. Yeah, I did a video here and someone says the top line's too high for the cameras. Yeah, I apologise for that. On a couple of those questions, you missed the very top of what I was writing down. Sorry about that. Cheese Stalks likes our setup for puppies. Good. Someone's got a colour question. Frenchies says, colour question. We want to know what they're looking for. They want to know if they can get a Isabella or a new shade. And the answer to this
I'm
is...
going to be having Isabella and new shades.
That's right.
And lilac and tans. And merles in that color too. Keep my fingers crossed, hopefully.
And
but she is definitely pregnant.
So let's talk about how you produce a new shade. So what you've got here is an 80-80 dog bred to an 80-80 dog. So you're going to get 80-80s, 80As, both those are 10 points, and AA solid colours. You're breeding a big B little b to a little b little b. Half the dogs will get testable chocolate, half won't. You're breeding...
not my dog.
No.
He's talking about this other dog.
Right. You're breeding a cocoa carrier to a full cocoa. So half will be cocoa carriers, half will be full cocos. You're breeding dogs that both carry a copy of cream, so 1/4 will be creamed. And you don't tell us about pied on the other dogs, so we don't know about pied. So what are you going to get here? The answer is that you're going to get... the chances of getting a new shade are slim. The chance of a blue in that situation is a 1/4, and of a testable chocolate is a 1/2, so that makes it an 1/8, and of a cocoa is another 1/2, so that makes it a 1/16. So 1/16 of your dogs you'd expect to be new shade, so you've not got a very good chance of this, but it could be happening. Liza Nesbitt says, thanks for showing this. I have a litter of cryptic merles. Yeah, hopefully you've tested for that, because the only way you'd know you've got cryptic merles is because you physically test for it. It came back MC. 3M photos. I have a female Frenchie. Thought it was in a heap because she was showing some blood on it yesterday when I showed her, but never spotted on the floor in the kennel. She also has never swollen up. And today it's kind of dark. Well, I mean, you don't tell us about the age of the dog, you don't tell me how many days you think she's been in heat. But I mean, it can be confusing sometimes when dogs can start up and then not show very much. So just keep on checking. Now, what I would do is get a Q-tip and stick a Q-tip up in her vulva, and that will give you a better idea if she's cleaning herself up or other dogs are cleaning her up. Caroline B. I have a 12-week-old visual fluffy female. Her ears were up, but past week her left ear has just flopped down. Should I tape it up, or do you think this is just teething? What do you think, Tammy?
On the ears that flop down?
Yeah, after 12 weeks. She's got 12 weeks.
12 weeks.
They were up, and now they flopped back down.
Put them back up. You just have to fight it for a bit. It could be anything. Something's upset her, change of food, away from her siblings. Just tape that ear back up. And it, could be teeth. I don't know. But
yeah, it could be
tape
teeth.
It back up. Doesn't matter what it is. Tape it back up.
If you gave her a shot, it could be that causes it.
Yeah, but
tape it back up. So here's the replies. 3M Photo says tape it up ASAP, and we give that a full 3 thumbs up. Exactly. It's so easy to do. There's no downside to it. And it's really the only effective thing that I'm aware of. Now, somebody else says chicken broth builds cartridge calcium, grind eggshells to dust, more protein, don't tape, too much work. No.
Oh dear, it's worth every penny of that too much work, folks.
I think the chances of you getting these ears to pop up because you give them more calcium
It's not that much work.
is slim to none.
Yeah.
And the problem you've got here is once the ear is flopped back down, it'll set in that position.
Yeah.
So if you want to take the chance you have a dog that permanently has a folded ear, do nothing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, tape it up. Tammy's right.
Okay, so I want to know if James needs to tell me something because he said 3 thumbs up and did 1 thumb. Does he have something more than what I know about?
I know where you like to put that third thumb.
Hey, put your thumb up, James. Okay, 3
thumbs up. Oh dear, living with Tammy is such a delightful thing.
Oh me.
Rainy Gutierrez says, watching for some time, need your opinion on my Frenchie litter. I have a blue fawn tan female with a lilac and blue carrion fawn male. What will be the litter percentage outcome? Well, let's just go over this. So you've got a blue and tan female, you say with lilac. I assume that you mean that this dog carries cocoa. And a blue carrier and a fawn male who carries lilac again carries cocoa. So one of your dogs carries blue and carries cocoa, and the other dog is blue and carries cocoa. You'll get half blues and half not blues. The ones that aren't blues will either be brindles or fawns. If you had tan points present and they didn't have brindle present, the non-blue dogs could be blue and tans. Your chances of getting lilacs are slim. In fact, they are. Let's see, that's a blue that carries, so that's a half times a half is a quarter, is 1/8. 1/8 of your litter you'd expect to be lilacs, so not much chance. 12.5% lilacs, not much. 50% blues, the other 37.5% are going to be fawns or brindles. Or black and tans possibly.
Can I say this?
Yes.
When we say we're a family-run business, let me tell you, yes, we are a family-run business because my granddaughter's got a litter of full fluffies, my son, and then my daughter has a litter of fluffy carriers, and then we're fixing to have a litter of fluffy carriers, new shades, Isabellas, lilac and tans, and merles on top of that. So it's a family thing. So give us a holler at 580-799-1910.
So that also is kind of interesting because when you see that, you can see we've got 4 families with Frenchies. You know, the next thing people will think is they're like puppy milk.
Oh, no.
These puppies are in the houses. These mothers, right now, Chanel's battling a litter where she's got mum that's having a few problems. And I mean, she's getting up every few hours to tube feed a particular puppy that's having a little bit of a problem. So, you know, this is a, you know, we've got a commitment to our dogs. We love our dogs.
Yep.
New Jax says, I said you said no brindle, of course. My question is, would breeding this dog with a dog with 1 copy of dominant black brindle be a problem? No, other than the fact that you're going to get some brindle puppies out of it. That's it. I mean, yeah, it's just, yeah, if you've got tan points involved, then the brindle is going to mess up your tan points.
Yeah,
that's probably the biggest thing about brindle, right? Is that if you're trying to get tan points, it's not going to happen. And if you've got a dog that's AT-AT, with a copy of brindle, it'll be all washed out and muddled up and you won't hardly see it. Jessica Barber says, love your channel. Want to use one of your stud dogs in the near future? Great.
Good.
I have a blue Merle female with tan points. She's little d AT-AT. That would be a blue and tan. She doesn't breed more, doesn't carry pied or cocoa. What type of male would you suggest I breed it to? What colour of puppies could possibly be produced? Well, okay, so
blue
since
and
you're...
tans for sure, and merles.
Yes, exactly. Blue and tans, blue and tan morals. That is a given. Whole lot, 50-50. That's easy if you breed.
And we've got the boys to do it. Was she a fluffy carrier or a non-fluffy carrier? Okay.
So if you bred to, at the very least, you breed to a little d that doesn't carry brindle and doesn't carry merle.
And we don't have any brindle at all in our studs.
Yeah. So the question is, you know, you ask about other things, and what other things could you get? Well, you know, you mentioned Coco. She doesn't carry pied or Coco. Well, she can never produce a pied dog. But if you put her with a pied female, all the puppies would carry a copy of pied, which is fine. Put her with a non-brindle dog. Your dog doesn't have brindle. No brindle puppies. Put your dog with a dog that carries or has Coco. Some of the dogs will carry Coco. They won't show it. Those puppies then can go on to produce lilacs. And it's the same thing with a dog that carries or has a copy of cream. You can get puppies that carry cream. They can then produce platinums for you. Now, Tammy's going to say something
So
here.
now you'll have a higher DNA puppy that you may want to keep, a female from that litter.
Now talk about Fluffy.
About Fluffy? If you've got a non-fluffy
She does.
dog and you breed to a full Fluffy, everybody in that litter will be Fluffy carriers. So that would be a great thing. So you even got to step up higher when you add the Cocoa, when you add the cream, when you add the Fluffy. You've got a nice, and you of course you're blue and tan, but you carry all the nice other DNA. So that's a keeper on a female for sure.
So I think the argument here is this: do you spend more money on higher DNA, and if so, under what circumstances? And so, to me, whenever I talk to our customers about maybe moving up to a dog, for instance, like a Fluffy or a dog that carries other genes that your dog doesn't, we have a discussion about what we think. Are you potentially going to keep a puppy from this? Because if you are going to keep a puppy and maybe breed that puppy in the future, there is a really compelling reason to add more DNA to it, because you can move yourself up to a different tier. If you're going to sell the puppies, then you've got to justify the increased DNA producing increased value in what your puppies are going for. And the answer is, it will increase the money some, but it just depends. I mean, for example, if you had a blue dog that carried...
Do I need to get gas?
No, we'll wait. If you had a blue dog, and you had produced blue dogs that carried Cocoa and cream, now you, on the females, maybe have $500 a puppy. Do you think that's reasonable, Tammy?
Do what now?
If you had a blue and tan dog, and then you all of a sudden you added Cocoa and cream to it, what would be the increased value of those puppies?
For sure, at least $500.
Okay. Yeah. If you add Fluffy to it, then you might increase the value of the puppies for $2,000 or $3,000. So then it's a lot more compelling. But I mean,
depending on conformation too, folks.
Yeah, right.
If you want that nice conformation, you will charge that much more.
Yeah, don't choose a dog with better DNA that looks wonky.
Right.
Not. I mean,
you want confirmation.
Number one, right?
Yeah, number one.
Yeah, confirmation.
Cherry on top is the DNA.
That's right. And then the hidden cherry on top is the hidden DNA that translates into what those puppies can produce down the road. All right. And that's enough on this one.
Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.